Welcome to another Genshin Impact video. Today I'm gonna take a look at Ineffa, who I just got a few days ago on her rerun banner. And yeah, of course she's not a new character, but there are some new things in this update that concern Ineffa. Like for example, Columbina of course is now in the game and is basically the best support for all the Nod-Krai characters. But on top of that, there's also a new artifact set that buffs lunar reaction damage as long as the wielder is off-field, and that sounds perfect for Ineffa, so I built her with that. So today we're gonna test her and see how well she actually works with that new set and with Columbina. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Here we have my Ineffa build. She has 2400 attack, 241 elemental mastery and a crit ratio of 61 to 162. With 158 energy recharge. The weapon I'm currently using on her is the Skyward Spine. Since I sadly didn't get her signature weapon when I was rolling on the weapon banner for Columbina's weapon, I instead lost to the Skyward Pride. That was painful. But yeah, there are also some pretty good Forster weapons for her, like the Prospectus Shovel, I think it's called, which is a craftable weapon that works really well on her, but I didn't have that crafted yet, and I think it's only better than Skyward Spine at high refinements, so I didn't want to waste 5 belays on that when I had the Skyward Spine just lying around and no one was using it. But yeah, there are definitely some good free-to-play options for her as well. Then as for the artifacts, like I already mentioned, I'm using the new set that buffs Elemental Mastery and then Lunar Reaction damage when she's off-field, which is perfect for Ineffa because she is off-field like 99% of the time. You don't really play her on field, so this set feels like it's made for her. It's actually made for Columbina, I think. That's who they want you to use it on. But I feel like for Columbina, the Silken Moon Serenade actually just is more flexible, more versatile for more different teams. So I like to use that on her. And the new set, I think, makes more sense for Ineffa, actually. But yeah, let's take a look at the stats. I, of course, try to get some crit and EM and attack. As you can see here, this flower is actually pretty good. The feather also not bad, but I would have preferred some more crit rolls instead of all that elemental mastery, but it's fine. I have an attack sense, this is actually the off piece, and an attack goblet, and a crit damage circlet, which I think is the worst artifact here, since it doesn't have crit rate and it wrote a lot into flat HP. Not really what you want. But for now, it's fine. Can definitely improve this build in the future, but it should work pretty well, even with those stats. Constellation is 0, and the talents currently are at 6, 9, and 9. So that's my Ineffa. Now let's talk about teams. And like I already said, I do wanna play her with Columbina, but before I actually do that, I wanna try out a Columbina-less Ineffa team with Aino, who should also work pretty well with Ineffa. And you know, I just have to play them together at least once, because of their connection in the lore, in the story. They're so cute together, like, they're like sisters, you know? Ineffa is like this big sister for Aino, even though Aino created her. I love the dynamic in the story, so yeah, I have to try them together. And as for the other two characters, I guess you could put another Electro character like Fischl in there, and then maybe a Swirler like Sucrose. This also gives us Hexarai, since both of them are Hexarai characters. Yeah, Hexarai's secret right, and Ascendant Gleam, so we have both Ascendant Gleam and Hexarai now in this team. And basically Ineffa here is gonna be our main damage dealer, even though she's gonna be off-field. Sucrose is gonna be our on-field driver, but most of the damage is gonna come from Ineffa. And Ineffa is at the same time also our sustain here, since she's a shielder as well. So yeah, this team should work pretty well, I think, so let's try it out. And here we are at Masanori in Inazuma. As usual, in my showcases, I always go here first. I know there's an actual, like, test dummy now in Miliastra Wonderland for testing damage, which is really cool, but I still just want to fight real bosses in the showcases. I think that's actually more fun and more interesting, instead of just hitting a stationary dummy that does nothing. I don't just want to see the damage, I want to see how well these teams work in actual combat in-game, you know? But it's definitely great that we do have a test dummy now, and I'm gonna check it out eventually. But for now, I'm still gonna do these showcases with Masanori here, and then also probably Kongamato later on in the video. Because when you get to using Ineffa with Columbina, I'm pretty sure Masanori is not gonna be nearly strong enough. He's gonna die in 2 seconds. But yeah, let's just use Ineffa on her own here. See how much her skill does without any lunar stuff. Okay, 4600. Yeah, it's not a lot, but that's to be expected. Where Ineffa really shines is when we do lunar reactions. We got already a 20k there, 30k, 20k, 30k. Yeah, already a bunch of damage with just one use of Aino's skill. Not even using Aino's burst yet. Just a bit of Lunar-Charged already gave us a huge damage increase compared to when Ineffa didn't have any reactions, which is to be expected, you know. But yeah, still nice to see all that damage. But now for real, let's just do this and use Aino's burst this time. Put Fischl's also on the field, and then we see it was 45k, so 45k, 55k. Okay, I'm seeing 50ks and he's already dead. Yeah, okay, well, that actually was really good damage already, even without Columbina. I think the highest damage number I saw there was 55k, which I'm pretty sure is coming from Ineffa's first Ascension passive. Yeah, this one here. If you trigger Lunar-Charged, then her little robot Brigitte unleashes extra Lunar-Charged attacks equal to 65% of Ineffa's attack, which of course can crit, and also gets a bonus from Element Mastery, I think, because it's Lunar-Charged damage, and those are the big Lunar-Charged hits that you see when you're using Ineffa. So yeah, as expected, she's pretty good, just with a 4-star character like Aino. Don't even need any other Nod-Krai 5-star characters, which is really nice. Also, one more interesting thing about Ineffa is that she actually doesn't even really need Ascendant Gleam as far as I know, because when she was released, she was the only Moonsign character, so I don't think there's actually that much Ascendant Gleam stuff in her kit, from what I remember, or any at all. Yeah, it all just works without Ascendant Gleam. Ascendant Gleam is mentioned nowhere here, which is really nice, so you can probably just put her in any Electro-Charged team, even without another Nod-Krai character, though of course she is still gonna work best with Nod-Krai characters like Aino and Columbina. And yeah, talking about Columbina, let's try her now in this team. We're just gonna replace Aino. There we go. My Columbina is still Z0. I haven't activated the constellations yet, because I wanted to do this Ineffa showcase with a Z0 Columbina. And if you want to know more about my Columbina build, then I recommend you check out my Columbina showcase that I released like 2 days ago. But yeah, let's now go in again and see how much damage this team does. So, we do this and this, use Columbina's burst, Fischl, Sucrose, and let's see. Seeing some 40k, 64k, yeah, we've seen constantly over 60k, and he's already dead. That wasn't even 10 seconds and he's already dead. Oh my god. Holy. Yeah, okay, that definitely was a considerable increase in damage. It immediately went up to like I think 64k was the highest I saw. And yeah, then Masanori just didn't stand a chance. So yeah, needless to say, Ineffa and Columbina work really damn well together. And I've even heard people say that these two together can basically wheelchair any team. Like, you can put these two and then any 2 other characters and it just works. And it's gonna be a strong team. Which is definitely something I'm gonna try out. But first, let's go back in one more time. And I just wanna see how strong Ineffa's shield is, because I didn't really pay attention to the shield in the previous runs. So I'm just gonna let Masanori hit us while the shield is active a few times. And see how long it takes for it to break. Let's see. Okay, that actually broke pretty fast. That shield is weaker than I thought. It's scarce of attack, right? Yeah, sheet damage absorption, 376% of attack. Which is with 2400 and then over 300%, so times 3. That's like 7500. Plus the 2000 we get here. 2800 actually. Yeah, the shield is definitely gonna be at like over 10k health. How did Masanori one-shot that? Masanori does not do 10k damage in one hit. That is interesting. Am I missing something here? I really thought the shield was gonna be stronger. Let's try this again. Okay, this time it took it, but this was an Electro attack, and it of course blocks Electro a lot better. Come on, attack again. Okay, now it's stacking a lot, but again his sword is infused with Electro now, so maybe that's why. Before it was physical. Okay, let's do a shield test with this boss actually, because this boss has a very strong move that it uses right at the beginning that does like over 50k damage, and we have Nilou here with 66k HP. So let's see how much this does to Nilou without a shield, and then I'm gonna heal her up and do it again with Ineffa's shield. Yeah, as you can see, it's a lot of damage. It might actually kill her. It almost killed her. Okay, so it was over 60k damage. So now we heal her up real quick. And then we're gonna use Ineffa's shield and see how much health she has left after that big attack. Come on, attack. I think I used it a bit too early, but it should be fine still. Okay, it broke. But how much is left? 9,000. Okay, so around 8,000 shield health. Yeah, I mean, that's still much more than Masanori does in one attack. I still don't get how Masanori one-shot that shield. There must have been something else going on in that battle. But, oh well, yeah, okay. So the shield is like at least 8,000, maybe even more than that. Because this strong move there is sometimes a bit inconsistent in how much damage it does. Sometimes it does a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. So maybe we should go do this one more time, just to see if the result is going to be different. Because it's basically a lot of smaller hits, not one big hit, so sometimes you don't get hit as much. I don't know why, it's just, you know, sometimes it misses some of its hits. I've done these shield tests many times in the past, so that's how I know. Okay, here we go. Shield broke. Yeah, this time Nilou has 15k left, so it's a bit inconsistent here, but we can see at least that the shield does make a difference of at least 8k, probably 10k or even more than that. It is a decent shield, definitely, it can keep the team alive. But yeah, now that we've confirmed that, it's time to go back to damage testing. And like I said before, basically we can put Ineffa and Columbina with any other two characters. So let's try them in a Geo team now, with Chiori and Navia. I used this kind of team in my Columbina showcase already, but with Shinobu instead of Ineffa, and it already worked really well. And I just really want to see how much damage this does, because my Navia is actually C2R1, same for my Chiori. Columbina will be C2R1 eventually, but for now still C0R1. Ineffa is the only one who doesn't have a signature weapon, but yeah, overall this team should be really, really damn strong. With these two doing a ton of Lunar-Charged, and then these two just putting out immense Geo damage, I feel like this is probably gonna be one of my strongest teams now. So let's see how strong actually. And for this, I'm gonna go to Kongamato over here, because Masanori is definitely not strong enough for this. We saw how fast he died with the Sucrose Fischl team. So yeah, with Chiori and Navia, there's no way Masanori survives longer than 1 second. So we need this guy here with his 1.6 million HP. Set up all of this. And then we just unleash Geo damage on Kongamato. He's already half dead. Oh my god. This is doing so much. And there he goes. That was one of the fastest Kongamato kills ever in one of these showcases, I think. What was that? Like 10 seconds? Maybe? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh my god, this team is so good. And I didn't even use Ineffa's or Chiori's bursts. It would probably be even faster if I did that. Talking about Ineffa's burst, we haven't really tried that yet. I was so focused on the skill and the Lunar-Charged stuff that I completely forgot about her burst. So you know what, let's do some burst testing now. Okay, seems like the burst is just one big damage hit, but doesn't have any Lunar-Charged going on. So I don't think Columbina's gonna buff that. But maybe if you go back to the Sucrose team, we can get some higher damage with Sucrose. But let's first test the burst without any buffs. Because like 1100%, that's actually a pretty good multiplier. So let's do this and this, even if it doesn't do really anything for the burst. But yeah, let's unleash it now. Oh, it didn't crit. Damn it. Okay, let's try this again. Come on, crit. It didn't crit again. Come on. Okay, third time's the charm. Just don't miss the crit again, Ineffa. Okay, there we go. 37k. Well, actually a little bit less than I was expecting, but that's fine. Because her main damage source is of course the Lunar-Charged stuff from her skill. I knew that. And 37k without any buffs is actually not even that bad. Now what if we actually put Sucrose in here and swirl the Electro? How much damage is the burst gonna do then? So we do this to apply Electro, then we swirl it, and damage. 41k. Okay, yeah, not bad, not bad. But that's enough burst testing. Now let's just go back to wrecking everything with her and Columbina. So let's think about what other teams I could try here. Again, we could probably put them with any other two characters and it would just work. So for example, we could just keep Sucrose here and then also use Raiden. I've actually used this team in my Columbina showcase as well, but again with Shinobu instead of Ineffa. And that also worked really well, so now should work even better. So we just do this and this, then activate Columbina's buffs. Sucrose, Swirl, and Raiden Unleash. Yeah, we're also doing pretty good damage. He's already half dead. It's the burst. And there we go. We don't even need a second Raiden burst. Which is different from when I used this in Columbina's showcase. I did need a second Raiden burst there. This time we killed him without needing the second burst. So if this had been Abyss, we could now have saved the burst for the next chamber, which is really nice. So yeah, needless to say, this is definitely an upgrade over the previous version, to no one's surprise. And yeah, once again, Ineffa and Columbina, they can just carry any team, it feels like. Honestly, let's just try them without anyone else. Just these two. Why not? Let's see how fast they kill Kongamato if there's no one else. I kinda wanna see that. It's probably still gonna be pretty fast. Not as fast, of course, as what we just saw. But yeah, let's just go and try this. Hello, Kongamato. I've come to kill you once again. And I guess we just use Columbina here as our on-fielder. Just do normal attacks. Yeah, look at that. We're actually doing pretty good damage. Even with just this. He's half dead already. We can use Ineffa's burst here. Reset everything up again for the second rotation. And continue doing great damage. We could also put a charge attack in there for some Lunar Bloom. And dead. Yeah, well, 2 rotations. That's really not bad, considering that we are only using half a team. We still killed the tankiest overworld boss in 2 rotations. Just 2. That is kinda insane. These 2 characters just, oh my god, I love them. I love how well they work together. They don't even need other characters. So yeah, I guess people were not wrong when they were saying you can just put them in any team with any other 2 characters and it just works. Could even go something really not functional, like, I don't know, let's put Kachina, Collei, who really don't work well together. And something like this would still work, and we would even get some Lunar Bloom on top of the Lunar-Charged. Actually, Lunar Crystallized as well, I almost forgot, but yeah, we have Chio here with Kachina. So it's kind of a every Lunar reaction in one team, but with characters that you usually really wouldn't play together, except for Ineffa and Columbina. But yeah, let's just see how this actually goes. Yeah, again, we're doing actually pretty good damage, even with these characters. Let's actually use her burst as well here. And yeah, he's pretty much already dead. Not even gonna use Columbina's burst again. Damn. This team really shouldn't work well, considering that Kachina and Collei do nothing for each other. But still, it just works. It just works. And Kongamato dies. Really fast. Because yeah, people were right. You just can't put Columbina and Ineffa with basically anyone. Or just use them alone without anyone else. You know, it just works. It just works. I don't know what else to say. It just works. But yeah, that pretty much concludes my Ineffa showcase. Or I guess it was kind of a Ineffa plus Columbina showcase. But yeah, basically, Ineffa with the new set and Columbina is an amazing character. I mean, even without that, she's an amazing character. She's been amazing ever since she was released, but now she's even better than before. And I, for my part, am really happy that I got her. And I'm gonna play her and Columbina for a long time to come, that's for sure. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this showcase. If you did, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Genshin Impact and other gacha content. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. And it's funny that Ineffa is shutting down while I'm ending the video. But yeah, see ya.